Hey guys, this is Mountain Walk, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about a couple of different things. We got all sorts of wonderful things. Boy, what a great time it is to be a Magic player. A lot of good sets coming out. A lot of hype for the new sets. Pretty good previous year. So let's see what we got. First off, let's talk about the newest Ravnica set. Let's talk about RNA, baby. RNA. That's a pretty good set. For whatever reason, I think I was just a lot more excited for the newest Ravnica block than the previous one. Although the previous one's good too, but like this one, I was a little bit more excited. So let's go ahead and pull that up real quick. There we go. Alright, so let's look at this Ravnica Allegiance spoiler. Just came out fairly recently, and I've looked over these cards and thought about them for a little bit, and so let's go ahead and look at the spoiler. A lot of this stuff, I don't always do this kind of thing, but move my chair back and forth. It's a little, but okay. So let's start at the top. I like this set. It's really cool. A lot of great cards. A lot of interesting stuff. So I'm just gonna look and just talk about a few of the cards that are kind of interesting to me. Okay, so we'll start at the top of the spoiler. I'll put a link in the description. You can follow along with me. So we got Angel of Grace. Angel of Grace, the flying worship. This thing is cool. I like it for standard. Pretty interesting there. Pretty tactically, pretty sweet. I like it for commander. I like it pretty much anywhere, really. I mean, it's great for angel decks. Just great as a way to deal with burn decks and other aggressive red decks. It's 5 mana, 2 white, 3 colors, 5/4, flash, flying. Has the worship text, but it's only until end of turn, and then you can pay 2 white and 4, exile it from your graveyard, and your life total becomes 10. So this thing's kind of wonky, but yeah, I think it could be pretty good. And we got Bring to Zeal, 3 mana, white sorcery, exile target creature, power 4 greater. Kind of interesting. I think it's decent removal. Pretty close to exile, literally the card. Not too bad. Yeah, I like that. Then we got something like, Expose to Daylight, which is basically a 3 mana disenchant instant scry 1. I wasn't sure if white always got like disenchants that were close or very close, or maybe even a little bit better than disenchant, because obviously they color shifted that back to green in Onslaught a long time ago. But Expose to Daylight's really good. 3 mana instant disenchant and then scry 1. You can't lose there, so that's kind of interesting. Forbidding Spirit, which is kind of just like a temporary ghostly prison. That's okay. Impassioned Order, which is kind of interesting. Another Soul Warden type effect. And then we got some of these Afterlife cards, which I think I really like the Afterlife mechanic, where it's basically whenever this creature dies, you create X number of 1/1 white and black spirit creature tokens with flying. That's great. I love it. It's great for the grindy sort of decks. It's great for the kind of nickel and diamond, no pun intended, that Orzhov likes to do. So that's a big fan. I'm a big fan of that. Ooh, probably my favorite white card in this set, Resolute Watchdog. So it's 1 white for 1/3 with Defender. You can pay colorless and sack it, and target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. That's amazing. This is perfect flavor, perfect form and function. Absolutely amazing. Flavor text: a friend in good times, a guardian in bad times, and a savior when all else fails. Awesome. Perfect. It's a dog. It saves you. It blocks stuff pretty well. You can't lose. I'm a big fan. Then we have Tithe Taker, the Pseudo Thalia, the 2-mana 2/1 during your turn. Spells your opponent's cast cost 1 more to cast, and their abilities, if they want to activate them, cost 1 more unless they're mana abilities, and it has Afterlife 1. So it's a Pseudo Thalia, not a legend though. It is a human soldier, so you can play it in humans or something. Great against mass removal. Very interesting card. Pretty good. Good power level. I like it a lot. Big fan of that card. So let's move on to blue. The first thing is we got this basically bad repulse that if you play it during your main phase, it's a on some that draws you a card. So I just reprint repulse. This is stupid. Just give us repulse. Just give us exclude. Just give us prof bolt. This is dumb. Come on, do it, Wizards. Don't be a retard. Do it. It'll be amazing. On a slightly more serious note, Benthic Biomancer. So it's a 1-mana 1/1, a blue and a colors, adapt 1, which is basically monstrosity. So if it doesn't have any counters, put whatever number of counters on it, and then when you put the counters on it, Benthic Biomancer loot. So draw, then discard. This card gonna be sweet and standard. Gotta be good in, like, say, modern merfolk. Because, yeah, the free looting is great. Getting a 1-mana 2/2, being able to be a mana sink, that's good stuff. Essence Capture, again, seems like a pretty sweet card for standard. 2-mana, counter spell, put a 1/1. Counter a creature spell, so 2 blue, counter a creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. Pretty sweet. I like Mesmerizing Benthid, 5-mana 4/5, ETB, get 2/0/2 blue, losing creature tokens when with, oh god, so much text. Whenever these creature blocks, that creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step, and Mesmerizing Benthid has hexproof as long as you control illusion. This card seems really sweet in draft. Thank god it's a mythic rare. But it's so cool. It's just an octopus with a bunch of Narcomoebas floating around it. Persistent Petitioners is a good one. 2-mana 1/3. A colorless tap. Target player puts top card of their library into the graveyard, and then you can tap 4 advisors to put the top 12 cards of a library into the graveyard, and it has the Relentless Rats tech, so you can play as many as you want in your deck. Pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. Quench is kind of interesting. It's a pseudo mana leak, but it's 2-mana counterspell unless they pay 2, and it's a blue and a colorless, so can't go wrong there. Good spell. Big fan. Let's see, what else do we got here? Some other stuff. Okay, here we go. Go to black. Got some interesting stuff. Awaken the Erstwhile. 2 black, 3 colors, sorcery. Each player discards all cards in their hand and creates that many 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Pretty sweet. I don't know. It's a cool card. I like it. I like making zombies. I like kind of the spectacle, which is like an alternate cost to pay all the stuff. Pretty cool. I like Gutter Bones. 1-mana 2/1. Enters the battlefield tapped. You can pay a black and a colorless to return from graveyard to your hand. Activate it only during your turn and only if an opponent lost life this turn. Just another card, a payoff card for spectacle, but it's good for recursion style stuff. Ooh, Pestilent Spirit. This card is sweet. So it's a black, 2 colors, 3/2, menace, death touch, spirit. Instant and sorcery spells you control have death touch. So great for any Rakdos decks. Turns all those shocks and other things into a death touch, and then Obviously, this guy has menace, so he can't be blocked easily. If they have multiple guys to try to block him, they can just get shocked and you can kill him. I mean, just so good. Really sweet card. Some other good spectacle stuff. Ooh, Vindictive Vampire. 4 mana, 2/3. Just the stuff dies, your opponents lose life, you gain life. Again, pretty sweet in the token style decks and Commander. I like it. Let's see here. Go into red. Let's see here. What do we got? Find something interesting. Something really interesting. I like Skargan Hellkite. I mean, it's good standard kind of card. 5 mana, 4/4. It has Riot, which is, again, another extremely sweet keyword. I like it. It's a good mechanic. So it basically enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter, or it has haste. And it has flying, of course, because it's dragon. And then you can pay a red and 3 colors, and it deals 2 damage divided. You choose among any number of targets, but you can play it if it has a 1/1 counter on it. So I'm a big fan of Skargan Hellkite. That's a cool dude. Alright, so let's move on to green. Ooh, this guy's sweet. So they basically printed an Ooze Lord. So it's 2 green, 3 colorless, biogenic ooze. It's a 2/2. When it ETBs, create a 2/2 green ooze. At the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 counter on each ooze you control. And then you could pay triple green and colors to create a 2/2 green ooze creature token. Bam. Oozes all over the place. Great thing to do with all your mana. I mean, that's so sweet. Some other good standard cards. Regenesis. 2 green, 3 colors. And it's a double regrowth, basically. So that's pretty sweet. I like that. Better than the evasion version of that card. Ooh, Wilderness Reclamation. Now this is nice. Green, 3 colors, enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, untap all lands you control. Bam. Lots of extra mana. Really great with mana sinks. You can play at like instant speed. Pretty nice. So let's get to the real meat. The multicolored cards. So first up, and one of my favorite cards ever, from Invasion Block, the unbelievable, incredible Absorb. So Absorb is sweet. 2 blue, 1 white, counter target spell, gain 3 life. Staple a counter spell to a healing salve. Can't lose. You can't lose. I love this card. It's great. It's perfectly balanced. I really hope they print Undermine in the next set, which is War of the Spark. It's a good card. I mean, no one thinks 3 mana counters are overpowered. Like, unless it's forbid or something like that, it's just not happening. Absorb is perfect. I love it. I'm glad they're pushing it even just a little bit, even with Teferi in the format. I'm glad they're printing or reprinting good cards. I love it. Ooh, then we got Bedevil. Now this is a sweet card. 1 red, double black, instant. Destroy target artifact, creature, or planeswalker. Awesome. Excellent Seth McKinnon art. Gonna be playable in standard, maybe even modern. Obviously Commander. Really, really powerful card. I love it. Cindervines, which is kind of like a weird pyrostatic pillar Eidolon thing. So it's a red and a green enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, Cindervines deals 1 damage to that player, and you can pay a colorless and sack it, destroy an artifact or enchantment, and it deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller. So it's like a destructive revelry on top of the pseudo pyrostatic pillar ability. This card I love a lot. I could see it seeing Commander play. I could see it seeing maybe even modern play, but standard play too. It's an interesting card. It's pretty powerful. I can see it going places. I like it. It's a good card. I like it a lot. We got some good Planeswalkers. Planeswalkers not too exciting to me. Frilled Mystic, which is basically 2 blue, 2 green, 3/2 flash ETB counter spell. So it's it's a Mystic Snake, but it's an elf lizard wizard. All right. More Riot stuff. A lot of I like Judith. Judith is good. Black red colorless for 2/2. Legendary creature. Other creatures you control get +1/+0 whenever a non-token creature you control dies. She deals 1 to any target. So she can deal damage. She can wipe their board if your stuff dies. Non-token, of course. I mean, it's great. She feels like very Thalia card where you really want to play multiples of her. Because, like, worst case scenario, you play another one and she deals the damage. So, Judith looks good. Looks good in, like, a token style deck or any sort of aristocrat sacrifice style deck. Like her a lot. Reprint of Mortify. Black, white, colorless, instant destroy creature enchantment. Prime Speaker Vanifar, which is basically blue, green, 2 colors, 2/4, and it's a birthing pod. I really want to play this thing in Commander. Your commander can be birthing pod. It's going to be amazing. Except when everyone targets you because you're playing birthing pod as your commander. I just play it for dirtly reasons. I love dirtling. And yeah, God, let me look. What we've got here. I mean, well, okay. Let's talk about one other card before the last one. Let's talk about Thrash Threat, which is a split card. And so Thrash, red green hybrid mana. Threat, 2 colors, red green. So Thrash is a creature you control deals damage equal to its power to a creature or planeswalker you don't control. Threat is just create a 4/4 beast token with trample. That card is awesome because it lets red or green deal with planeswalkers or creatures easier. It's not fight, it's one-sided, even better. And then threat is like if there's no creatures, you just make a 4/4 for basically on curve. 4 mana 4/4, which is awesome. This card is sweet. I can see it's definitely seen play in cruel style decks, but easily the best card in the set. I mean, the thing is, the more I've seen different articles, the more I've thought about it. Rhythm of the Wild, red, green, colorless, enchantment. Creature spells you control can't be countered. Non-token creatures you control have Riot. So this is basically Fires of Avimaya with even more upside. So this thing is basically, let's get this out of the way, it's better than Fires 90% of the time. So it pumps your dudes, or it gives them haste. I mean, it's literally whatever, and it gives them all uncounterability. Every creature you control is uncounterable. This is amazing. This card is ridiculous. This is better than Fires like 90% of the time. I mean, thank God they don't have like Birds of Paradise in this set or something. I mean, thank God they don't have like something like Blastoderm or Saproling Burst as payoff cards. This thing is insane. I mean, I can see this thing play like creating a pseudo Fires kind of deck if they're the payoffs in Modern. It's just, oh wow, this is powerful. And just like the original Fires, it stacks. Whereas the original Fires, like the extra copies, you can sack to pump your guy, right? But this one, Riot stacks. So you can have like two of these things, so you can give them all 1/1 and haste, or 2 1/1 counters, or just whatever. I mean, it's ridiculous. This card is really, really good. And it makes me think, like, do they have like extremely powerful cards coming up in the next couple sets or something, where they reprint like this insane control hoser that you would main deck as a 4 of and it's super cheap, and these Gruul style decks? Like, what is going on here? This card is really nuts. I mean, really nuts. This is probably the best card in the set, I would think. Like, Fire is shaped like the standard it was in And there's really good creatures in standard now for red and green and stuff. I mean, you don't have, elves in addition, or excuse me, you don't have birds in addition to your elves. We do have Incubation Druid, which can really ramp you hard. I mean, Rhythm of the Wild is this. This thing is gonna do awesome stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if, it sees play in modern, because this is a really powerful effect. I mean, especially if control decks ever get really good in modern. Like, this thing is amazing. Being able to play turn 1 Mana Dork, turn 2 Rhythm of the Wild, turn 3 through 10, just fatty, uncounterable fatties. Even, I mean, it's unbelievable. So I saved the best for last. So that's it for that one. I don't really want to talk too much about this kind of thing. But so let's talk about the masterpiece stuff. So let's go here. Just click on that. Bam. All right. So they're doing this Mythic Edition thing again. So hopefully it won't suck this time. But so you can basically buy this box from the Hasbro website, and it's basically just a Ravnica Allegiance box, but it's got 8 of the packs are Planeswalkers with super full art, but there's only the Karn has better art. I mean, it's got a Sorin, but it's worse art than the original Sorin from Innistrad, or excuse me, Zendikar. And then it's got Dak, but it's worse than the original Dak art. I don't know. Just don't get it. It's like $250. I'll put the link down and you guys can look at it. But I think it says it's $250 MSRP. Yeah, $249.99. So TLDR, please don't. I love seeing Sorin, but let's just not. So, also, let me go ahead and pull this up on my phone. They just came out recently-ish, within the last month or so, of a new Magic the Gathering book. And this was an ebook, and it was free to download. What? Yeah. And it was written by Brandon Sanderson. Oh gosh, let's see if I can find where this thing is. I think here. I'm so unprepared. I thought I had it, but then it didn't. Oh, don't think bad of me. That's illegal. I'll put the link for this in the description. It's called Children of the Nameless. And it was a free thing, and you can download it for free. It's an ebook, and it's basically about a new character, a new planeswalker. And the story is based in Innistrad. Now, I don't want to give out too much away, but it's got the sort of gothic horror stuff, and it's got some really interesting new characters. And I think this does take place after War of the Spark, the new set. But I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, Brandon Sanderson, if you don't know, this guy is a plus author. It's a really good book. It's a really good book. You'll really like it. Like I said, I'll put the link in the description. It's awesome. I love it. So I hope you guys enjoy that, because it's free. You probably already heard of it. If you know who Brandon Sanderson is, I shouldn't have to convince you. So I'm talking so much. Let me just take a little drink, relax for a sec, real quick. Okay, I feel better. And if you've been paying a lot of attention to the stuff I've been doing recently, I think Pat Chapin has done more of the 25 best cards or whatever. He did just for artifacts recently. I'll put a link for that in the description. And it was for, well, I guess just say it was for artifacts. Now this one's a little less interesting. I mean, because like, oh, why are the best artifacts gonna be hurt? I mean, you'd have to be pretty green, no pun intended, to sort of not figure that one out. But it is pretty interesting. And like I said, it's just interesting reading because, you know, he has his own way of looking at things. So I recommend you check it out. I'll put the link in the description for that. I mean, it's interesting. I love Pat Chapin. I've been reading this guy since I first started playing Magic. I think he's interesting. He seemed to, I mean, you know, he has a little bit of hyperbole, which bothers me a little bit sometimes when it's not warranted. But it's good stuff. So I think that was my last order of business at the moment. I think that's pretty much everything. So that's it, guys. That's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. There's so much stuff going on. I wanted to try and get all these things in at the last moment. And so after this, I mean, maybe we'll have something else to talk about tomorrow with the yeah, because it should be the banned and restricted announcement. Probably see something in Modern, I expect. Hey, maybe we'll get Birthing Pod and Stoneforge and GT and Twin and Punishing Fire. Those would be sweet. Let's make some new decks. Well, maybe just Stoneforge. That would be okay too. But definitely Pod. Pod is sweet. I want to play some Siege Rhinos. And if anyone says no, you can go to hell. You can go straight to hell. Anyways, thanks guys. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.